welcome to Watercolor Wednesday. My name is Gabriel Stockton, and yes, I have started a few minutes early. Now, if you have been here, you know what we do. We do all things watercolor. And guess what? Today is actually going to go a little bit quicker because some of you have been asking for me to make these shorter, and so we are doing something that's kind of helped me. So this is going to be a 3-parter. I had shared my passcode. Haha, kidding. I had shared a photo, and I told some of you that if you are signed up to get, hey, 2 of you are already here. If you have gone and clicked the subscribe button, when I make posts, I let people know when I'm going live. And we had talked last time we met about this little scene right here. Okay, now some of you don't have a bunch of watercolor supplies, and that's fine. I'll be honest, like having a sketchbook, I thought this was Watercolor Wednesday book. There's some other stuff in here. Oh yeah, it's on the back end. Okay, cool. There's all kinds of stuff in this one. I'm so grateful. I just got a whole bunch more of these. I wish I could tell you where they're from, but well, I can, but I can't get any because they're all gone. But Cheap Joe's Art Supplies, they came through one more time, and I'm enjoying some of these old things we did on this the show. Whoa, that was a fun. But yeah, today we're gonna talk about a little quick design. Now, some of you are long timers, you already know this stuff, but it doesn't hurt to revisit the basics. So I've showed how to do a no-tan with landscape, but not a no-tan that has some animals in it. So holy cow, maybe this sketchbook's done. Oh, nope, there. And so we are looking at this picture. I told some of you you could take a screenshot, and I'm okay with screenshots. So first things first is we always ask ourselves, is this going to be a vertical painting or a horizontal painting? Now, I've already painted this once for a group, and there could be a few people hopping on here and watching that, and that's cool. So they saw a horizontal, and actually, you know what? It's actually right here. Bum, bum, bum. So you have something to look forward to. I really do have it. And it really is right here. And, but I have to do something real quick to it, because sadly, this picture, had some water drop on it. So, wow. That's okay. So, I'm gonna get out my paints here. Now, for today, you don't need too much of anything. If you have a color that's somewhat dark or gray, I'm not getting all morbid on you or anything, but I'm gonna use maybe a neutral tint. But gosh darn it, this little guy, he I don't know what happened to him. But yeah, here's a painting that this is kind of like a rough draft kind of thing. And what I'm gonna do, and I can't see, I've got the camera set so high right now. I'm looking at the picture though, and what I had here, and say hello if you're watching. I see some people logged on, and if you're watching the replay, say hello, because I'll be driving, and the algorithm for some reason thinks I need to know that stuff, and I'll respond as soon as I park. So check this out. I'm gonna drop this down here. This is a cute little nether little guy. He's a cute little baby. But we're not gonna treat him like a little baby. How many do you know that children can teach us something pretty cool too? So I'm never going to discredit or make a child feel like they're something, you know, little or small. Same thing about an animal, right? The funny thing is, I know it's totally off the topic, but how many of you know that animals, they age different? Yeah. Some people don't know that. They're like, what are you talking about? Yeah. And so, his cute little backside is over here. Now, if you just logged on, don't worry, you didn't miss the whole show. I'm not done already. I was just showing this example, and something happened to my little painting. Some big old gob of water fell on it. I don't know. You know, I bring so much joy to the world. The devil just gets so upset sometimes. And yeah, right. So what I'm doing right now is just putting some of this material on him. And this is actually a little bit more than what I did for the demo. But now I made it presentable in front of you. Look at that. So you have something to look forward to in 2 weeks, because there's 2 steps we're gonna do before we even get this far. And there's one thing I didn't do that I wanted to the other day, and then bam, there it is. And so this is a horizontal painting. So this feels very relaxing, and this feels yeah, just that. It's relaxing, it's calming. These guys are here. You could see there was 4 here, but this is kind of boring. You know, 2 down, 2 up, 2 down, 2 up, and then you'll scroll in and try to put those 2 in. It's gonna look like snot just coming out of his nose, and yeah, they do spit on you, but look at this guy. He's cool, but I simplified him here, and the reason why I did this is because, yeah, I took that picture, and then this guy took off later, and that time, and I remembered this, and I said, oh, that's a cool shot. And I actually was going to take this picture of it like this, and guess what happened? You guessed right. I ran out of room on the phone for pictures. So I have this one. Now, if I go into my regular settings, this is just the regular settings for your folder that you take pictures or save pictures, right? I go in here to edit, which now it's different on your phone. And I'm gonna scroll into here like this. Now Now it's also different on your phone because you have to hit, oh, what's it called? It's like freehand or whatever. If I go up in here, I think, yeah, it is freeform. So if you keep it on original, it'll keep it in this rectangle, all right? Wow, you guys are learning like digital stuff. I thought this was just watercolor. All right, there's a huge range of people on the YouTubes. This is square, you know, one of the hardest ones to learn composition. Then you got all the different little, you know, sizes and stuff here. And so what I'm gonna do is go to freeform. Now that lets me toggle all kinds of different shapes. So now I can scroll back in here like this. And so this is going to be more about the land and less about the sky. Okay. So in this picture, what I want is, well, I want some mountain stuff in here. Like maybe something like that. And you guys are probably like, Gabriel, I took a screenshot from last week and I drew out the whole entire picture. That's okay. I'm going to show you what you can do next. So, don't worry. Be happy. All right. So, I'm going for something a little bit different. Why? Because this is what happens. You do a really nice painting. You keep it loose, soft, hard edges, and then you put it in a frame and it sells the next day. Hashtag said no one ever. I'm kidding. Actually, hashtag sometimes it does. All right. Hashtag it's gonna be okay if you don't have a sale for a while and then all of a sudden someone comes in and buys like 9 paintings. That happens too. So when I hold my finger on here, I see this little tic-tac-toe board. Do you see it? Those little white lines? All 4 of you? All right. So the tricky part here is we don't want anything dead center. I don't want this guy's head in the center. I don't want that dude's head in the center. But what I do see in the center, and if it helps you, you come up here and hit this little thing here. And I get this ruler. See this ruler? You gotta use 2 fingers. I'm gonna put one in one corner, down here, and one in that corner. Like that. All right, check this out. I get my little red marker, and I go like that. Okay, now I turn it like this. Like that, put that in that corner, and this way. Now I go like this. All right. Now you also, just so you know, fun fact, I'm gonna hit done. Oh, but you know what happens? Oh no, Gabriel. Now that is on your picture and you're like, crud, what do I do now? It's okay. So you go back to this little thing here and you can, as long as you don't exit, I could hit the back button here, but you got to go back into here. Bum, bum, bum. Hey, I'm going to go into there like that. Now I can go ahead and get out this eraser and take this out. I don't know if you noticed, there's nothing in the center of that. Now, one fun fact, for some people that don't know anything about your cool iPhone, yes, you can do this on your iPhone. Samsung, I can't help you there. If I do this squiggle, but if I hold my finger, it makes a straight line. But let me get a better color. All right, so I back up. Let me put this over here, off to the side. All right, I'm gonna pick a color and a thickness. Bum, bum, bum. All right, and I go thicker. Now watch, if I go wiggle a little bit and then come down, now hold this, and now it made a straight line. If you want to put an arrow, you do your little arrow like this and hold down and watch this. Boom! Did you know that? Alright, this is about watercolor, not digital art. Someone ran off. I'm kidding. Someone probably just lost internet because they were driving in a tunnel. Alright, I'm gonna go back here to sizing this up. So in a picture like this, there's nothing going on in the sky. So I'm gonna have less sky, and I need, the thing that bugs me is someone will do a painting like that. Now this just looks like camels that are about to just run me over. And if this was your canvas, those camels' feet are getting really too close. Sorry, not your canvas, your watercolor paper. And guess what? When you go to frame this bad boy, sorry, bad girl, don't mean to leave out the ladies, you're gonna have to come in about 1/8 of an inch. Unless you're at Michael's Arts and Crafts store and you have them do you have them do your framing. They'll come in a whole 1/2 inch, and look what happened. And then all this other stuff as you're matting, and you're like, hey, my camel's feet are and the guy goes, oh, I got it, I'll just go in the back. And then what he ends up doing is, how do I know? Because I used to be that guy at Michael's. I'm kidding. I used to be that guy at Michael's getting my stuff framed. And I'd be like, can you fix it? And then I went during the day and someone knew what they're talking about. They go, oh, hey, check it out. We'll take them. This, I should just be using, I'm driving Eric crazy because I'm not using my stylist, man. And then the guy will go, but now the sky is trimmed out there. So the other thing we've talked about doing is a workshop just on cutting mats and framing. Now I've got about 5 people interested, but I need more than 5 people interested to do a segment on framing. All right, we'll just leave it at that. So is this a good picture? No, because these foreground, there's nothing in a painting. You need a background, a middle ground, a foreground. No one in their right mind can say this. These camels are my foreground. Unless this, no, I'm not gonna go there. So I'm not being a jerk. I'm just saying I'm seeing this happen a lot. I enter a lot of shows, and I'm seeing some people, they haven't taken a composition course. And so we have to hit reset. And when you hit reset, cancel. And then when you come back, now we're back at the full picture. So right now there's way too much foreground, way too much background. If this picture though is taken at a regular phone distance. Now if you zoom in to take your picture, sometimes the picture You're zoomed in so much as far as your phone will zoom in, and your hands are kind of shaking, or the best thing were to do is if you're trying to get a shot like really far away with your phone, you should be using a stand, all right, a tripod. But I take pictures at the normal distance and make sure it's focused well, and then now I can crop. So, but the best way to crop your picture, and that's why I had some of you go ahead and draw this out, and you're like, I drew the whole thing, Gabriel. So I know exactly how you feel. I too had a professor. Actually, he's not a professor. I had a trained killer artist, Craig Anderson. Love the guy. Super good. Totally paints totally different than me, but we've had like the same mentors. And so look at this thirds mark here. So this portion above here is mostly background and sky. Everything almost about here is midground, and down here below this next section is a foreground. I've actually set it up where I have a shape here of a mountain, that's a mama, and a big shape here, that's a papa, and then a little tiny mountain back there. The next thing is, now this part of land and this part of the land versus the sky, we now have two shapes. You never want sky and land to be 50-50. All right? Now, hit done. All right. And then you're like, oh, that's how you want me to crop it? Well, check this out. If I hit edit one more time, and maybe revert to the original again, just to say, now watch. I know you're like, get on with it. I thought we were painting. And maybe you got a screenshot like something like that. Like, I could see some of my people I'm mentoring doing something like that. All right, so I will bring this forward like this and hit this guy. Now you see the rule of thirds. You can do a screenshot. Oh, all right. So what I'll do is I'll hold my finger down on my device. I'll hit screenshot. All right. Oh, yeah. Oh, I could do that one. Ha ha ha. You see that? Now it's not moving. I'll do no holding of this and that. And boom. So now I have this one. But let me show you what I do with this one. I bring it like this. Get over there. Get out of here, buddy. I hit done. I hit save. And I hit done. Now I'm gonna have this one of this size, and I'm like, hey, what are you doing here, lady? I'm gonna have this one. I'll save it in my favorites, and then I'm going to have the one I just screenshot, but I'm going to turn it into grayscale. So check it out. I've got this picture, and to fit it in, I'm gonna put it here for all three of you. And all the other guys are like, oh, he's gonna stay up late. Actually, I'm not. Watch this. I'm gonna take. Oh my goodness, where's my tea? I made some tea. Oh yeah, what are you guys drinking? I got some good old It's not even sweet tea. It's just good old brown. I'm just kidding. Good old sun tea. Alright, gotta wet my whistle. Check this out. This is not white, friends. See that background? Not white. So, I'm going to get in here, but I'm gonna toggle back, not to my mouse. My wife has got some stuff on my iPad now. So adorable. Favorites, and we're going to go here, and I'm going to turn this one to gray. Bum bum bum. Do 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 do. Bum 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 bum. Mono is what you want, not noir. There's too much contrast there. Unless you're trying to make a statement, you know? Alright, so now I'm just doing this on regular paper, folks. That's right. I'm a crazy madman. And I'm gonna put, and I'm not even using the right brush. Oh my gosh, what is this? What is this channel? What's this guy doing to us? And I'm gonna put this other gray down here. And this is what I end up seeing people doing. Just kidding, I don't see anybody doing this. Never, ever. So what do I have? I have some fun gray, and what I'm wanting to do is just lay down some gray here. All right, because that sky is not white. All right, so I don't care what colors you use. It's not about color. I'm actually mixing some colors that I know will make a warm tone gray. So you either have a neutral gray that's not warm or cool, or you have a warm gray and a cool gray. Now, check it out. This other area of the painting is gray too. And I'll tell you one thing, do not come to San Diego in May or June. We call it May Gray, June Gloom. Now, this paper is really light, and if I get this mop brush on this paper, it's gonna saturate it more. Now, I'm doing that because I want a lighter gray. I'm not doing it because this is watercolor paper, okay? But I'm gonna put a little pinkish color in there. And I don't really know what pinks I'm using or reds. I'm just grabbing some, I don't know. It's gotta be a red gray. If your gray looks like green, that's the opposite. So I know right now, if I were to look at this, on a gray photo, I would get a really light gray. It wouldn't even matter if it was pink gray. Okay, where are you going with this, sir? This is the stage where I like to play. Okay, when you are working with compositions, you've got to play a little bit. And in college, we would actually do these little exercises, actually, on a piece of cardboard. Look at that. He's a madman. He just, look at that. You guys, you get some of this action too, all right? Oh, look at that. So in college, and what I'm doing is trying to buy myself some time for that to dry. In college, we were starving artists, and we would bring in cardboard and for this camel I would put in some black, because guess what? I don't have to gray this paper. Why? Because it's already brown. That's right. So I only had to have in college for this class. It was called design. We only had to have some white and some black. And here we got this camel. Boy, does this guy, he's, he almost looks like an animal cracker. Let's really go. That hump's going the wrong way. And I gave him more back than Mama's got. That's, I'm not referring to my wife. I'm referring to the camel. And so, man, I'm so glad she went shopping. Let's not be sleeping on the couch tonight, folks. All right, so check it out. Look at this. There's that. He's got his head down. Now he's got this cool thing up in there, like that. And then there's this other camel right here, facing away, but it's just this blob of a shape. I'm pretty sure you all could do blobs. Gabriel, why would I paint a blob? That's a good question. Thanks for asking. You would paint a blob because you're just working on the composition. And for instance, I'm just now putting where those mountains are. So this is a line of communication. This means this is the horizon. All right. And I'm not zooming in to understand where his head is lumpy or if he has ears or his goofy looking nose. Like, I'm not worried about the color of the camel poop, any of that business, all right? I am simply putting down a suggested shape. So right here, that mountain shape kind of comes up and over and down. Look at that. Some of you are already on Amazon buying moving boxes just so you can do this exercise. I hope not. I hope you just rewind this later and just go find that one box that you've been wanting your husband to go throw away and go, I'm gonna make art on this box you never threw out. Or we also used to just paint on the inside of a cereal box. That was a good time. So with this little example, I can now get out some gouache. If you don't have gouache, guess what? If you have a white tube of acrylic paint, that's good too. If you have some watercolor white, bless your heart, you are more fortunate than the rest of the children around the world. What is he doing now? Check this out. People run into this problem all the time. They say, Gabriel, how do I know when a painting's done? And I say, my answer to that question is, when I know where you want me to land in the painting, okay? And right now, if I was a fly, I would not know where you want me to land in the painting, meaning that I really don't know where the focal point is. Now, I have white here, and I see a nice little chunk of white right here on the seat. Now, this kind of seems, now, pictures tell a story, right? So the story is, these camels are ready to go for a ride, right? And some of you have never been to the Middle East. You're like, that might be fun, but you won't see me getting on a camel, no way. But then when you get there, then you got these friends, and they start peer pressuring you, and they tell you you're a big sissy, and you go back to the hotel and cry. I'm just kidding. I'm just being silly. So check it out. If I, the story is, I could get on this camel. All right. Now, some people start scrolling into here, and they do this. Where else is a white? Where else is a white? That really doesn't matter. But once you've been on this camel, you're gonna know that you're gonna hang on to this thing here, that thing. Now I know my sunlight is coming this way, down here like that. The light is hitting that, and it's hitting this. And then you know what else is hitting here that you might be holding on to that would tell a good story? Some of you cowgirls already know. It's called the rings. And Indiana Jones always hangs on to it. So there's this rope here. Now, there's some parts of the rope that's not showing. Alright? Because there's more than one rope here. There's some little dots and dashes. Now, there is a cute little white area right here. Right here is the leg that's closest to me. And then, that's actually the shoulder. It goes up a little bit higher. And then there's a leg. And this leg comes like down here. And guess what? There's this little scab they got on, not a scab, there's like a calluses, I should say, right here on his knee. And then his leg is coming back like this. And then he has a camel toe. I mean, he has his toes. Gosh. The camel's toes. Right there. Now, you might have to toggle back and forth with black and white. And in this case, I need a nice little thick black. I want it behind that toe and foot coming back. And a little thing down in between the toes. See that? So, now people got the black and they start putting all this black. Well, guess what? We already did all the black. This little exercise gets one gray, which is the cardboard, one black, and whites. Now, in this picture, there is this cool little muzzle on our friend. Why do you care? Well, I don't want this camel spitting on my wife either. So, we're gonna put a highlight on his goofy little head there. And then their skull is kind of like our skull or a monkey skull. You know, it's got these little parts behind the eye. And then there's a little, the reins go on his face like this. And then it comes back. It's not the same thickness. It goes back like that. Okay? Now, this rope comes down, but we don't see it. And it reappears because it's got what's called contrast. See that? Now, this show's free, so nobody can complain to me that I'm painting on cardboard. But I'm telling you, I'm showing you something that was very helpful for me in college. I'm sure some of you would have loved to have taken this class. but you had to take something else, like, I don't know, biochemistry. Now, this little baby guy here, he's got a cute little butt, and it is in the light. And I can paint that part soft white. So this gouache, I can thin it down a little bit. And now, why do you care? Why would you want to paint his butt? Why would you want to paint this black and gray scale thing? You can actually get a really nice picture. There are people that get awards for black and white photos, and there are people who actually like to buy black and white photos. It's true, it's true. I know some of you younger people have never witnessed this wonderful miracle because the only pictures you have are on your phone. But I'm telling you, after dinosaurs, there were people taking pictures and selling them. Shh. We don't talk about it much. I'm being silly. I am, just because if I don't make jokes, you guys will think I'm too serious. Uptight. That guy, Gabriel Stockton, man. So, I used to have this teacher. We swore he was constipated. He's just so uptight. It wasn't fun. He never cracked a joke in class. He did make a joke, but it was so funny, we all forgot to laugh. You ever meet somebody and they've never told jokes, and then out of nowhere they might have had some liquid courage and then decide to tell a joke, and you're kind of like, Now, if some of you don't know that terminology, there's probably a good reason. Probably Jesus is saving you for someone very special. It's okay if you don't understand that term. But I'm going to tell you one thing. It is quite humorous when someone finally tells a joke and you thought they were so serious. You're like, wow. When you get them in a different place, they feel like they can kind of be funny. That's special. So here we go. And one little thing on his nose. Now I am done, because if I go any further than this, I might as well just go ahead and paint me a masterpiece. And for all 11 of you that are here and watching that are like, hey, Gabriel, why are you painting on paper? Cardboard. I was waiting for this to dry. So, there we are. And, my wife was right. This show's going to go longer than 30 minutes today. It's going to go for 5 more minutes. So, I've got one set of gray down. Earlier, this was looking too dark, and I'm sure some of you were like, oh my goodness. That medication Gabriel's on for his surgery, is that messing with his perception? So I have a little bit of gouache over here, and since I'm on paper, this thin notebook paper stuff, I actually need some thick paint for this next one. So this was really light, and we've put the mop brush away. So check it out. I'm getting to, some of you might have drawn this up if you're just now joining us, because there was like 3, and now there's like, I don't know, now there's 7. That's even better. So now, I didn't finish this one. So why would you do this? As you saw, this camel was flat with black, okay? And then just to keep in mind, we're telling a story. He has a cute little chest right here. He has some muscles, and then he's got this belly. That was the part I missed on this part. And I can nitpick this, and I can get like something that's close to the cardboard, and maybe put his back legs separated. Keep it separated. I'm sorry. Just being silly today. Alright, boom. Look at that. So check it out. We're gonna put that over there. And so this next one only gets this first gray area and now this nice dark. Next, this is gonna be a two-parter. And this helped me see the shape of the star of the show. This is the camel you're gonna ride out into the sunset and never come back. We're gonna say, I don't know what happened. She fell in love with this camel. She got on him, and that's all she wrote. Now, sometimes you gotta just mess up your picture on purpose. And look at this. This camel just went, and what am I doing? Do you see what I'm doing yet? No, your hand's in the way. How can we see what you're doing with your hand in the way? Well, what I was saying was, when I draw and paint this thing more than once, if you do that, ladies and gentlemen, you will get to know your subject more often. Now, if you spend a little bit of time working on a subject and you kind of allow yourself to make some little goofy mistakes and be kind and know that if this is not a race to the finish, but we're all here enjoying learning, you're going to really excel in this medium, because this medium, this watercolor, is going to be really fun if you experiment. How would you know if you are a watercolorist? I get this question all the time. People go, should I even bother? I'm this wee lad, and I have my whole life ahead of me. Hashtag said no one ever. It's always, Gabriel, I'm a 80-year-old lady. Gabriel, I am a doctor. Gabriel, I'm a lawyer. I've put off art my whole entire life, you know. I said, you know what? Probably what's happened is you've put off something that is going to bring someone else joy. And there's other darker forces in this world that thing is very happy that you have not made a lot of people in this world happy with by not being able to pursue it or whatever, you know. And so what am I saying? I'm saying that when we are having fun and I'm splattering some paint here, I'm getting to know this animal. Now, just because I went to the Middle East once doesn't mean I'm like a perfect, you know, camel painter of America. I had a really awesome conversation with an amazing artist, and we both agreed it doesn't matter what materials you use, but if the thing is meant to be look like wood, I need it to look like wood. If the thing is needing to look like metal, guess what? You guessed it. So I'm painting. I first put this one line down, and I didn't know if that was going to be the front leg or back leg. And then as I'm seeing it dry, and the reason why I'm using just the sketchbook color, okay? And some of you are like, well, Gabriel, guess what? I drew the whole thing, and it looks like you're only going to just do this one part of the camel. Heaven forbid, because guess what? When I allow myself some time to experiment and play, I'm understanding our little friend here, the shape and everything. The holy hottie's coming back. And so here I'm at the knee, and then look at this, back of this leg there. Now, this shoulder that's coming up and over like this, boom. And then there's a rope right there, so I'm actually gonna leave a little line there. And then look at this. This comes like that, and then this comes over. Now, did I do the whole entire scene? No. This little exercise should, without jokes, take a lot less time. 5 or 10 minutes. Something like this. People have asked me, like, how long should I do like a piece like this? And when you do something like this, you might have an appointment that didn't show up. You might have had maybe a part open up in your schedule. Maybe you had something cancel on you. Now, guess what? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna look at Facebook? Or are you gonna make some time to paint? And I know we all do it, right? We all fall into the what's on my phone to do. And so you might want to do something like this, which can allow you to create some beautiful images. And I'm gonna finish this off tonight with this little caveat. This is that handle, or some of you now want to take a trip and maybe go experience something cool. And but that doesn't say get up into the hot seat, does it? No, this part does. There we go. There's the hot seat, or the fun seat, right? And then we've got the cap off of the other part here. Now, there's just some little grays right here. They're breaking up, and they're fun shapes. You've heard me say this over and over. I'm gonna sound like a broken record. All I do is paint a lot of shapes. So initially, I'm not an oil painter or watercolors, or blah blah blah. I am a shape painter. If you paint the shapes, you'll be able to also come down here and put this other little guy right there. And really, if you just go like this, first just put something down like that, and then guess what? I look at now, where's the darks? Well, there's a dark right there. There's a dark right here, bump, bump, bump. There's a dark right here, bump, bump, bump. There's a dark here, boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Get. Alright, so I just put a big old pile of poo down just so that you can see that watercolor is more forgiving than you think. There's his cute bud again. We could practice the bud. I don't know if you're from a big family. There was butt jokes. There's butt jokes and there were fart jokes. And especially, well, yeah. So here it is, and there's a shadow. Bring that leg back down. Bam, 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 right? You can hear another shadow. And there actually is another little shadow here that's nice and strong. That would just taper off and make this work nicely. And if you wanted to really just make this just too cool, so all your friends come over to your house and go, whoa, what is that? And so we actually go back to color and revert. Bam, bam, bam. And I'm gonna put this red right there. I don't really see this red much, but it's a little accent. And then I look, and there's a nice, it's that shape is there. There's another red shape right here. And I go bigger, not because it's better, because it's the shape. And I got another nice bright shape right here. And this is actually where you put your foot to get in. And then there's a cool little red right here on our little friend. But this red is the warmest, and that's the one that I want you to look at. But I'm gonna put a light pink on the reins right here, leaving some white, and a nice red, cool red here. And then guess what? Down here, bam, a little blue. It's red in the shadows, so it's actually like a violet. Now, this now is a step forward towards color, but I've got my value correct because why? Because I built some values, okay? There is one little gray right here. It's actually a negative shape. It's the sand right there. And there's a brighter white right here. And this is called an overlap. And you want overlaps in your paintings, in your design work. Yes, you do. This little overlap business is going to make you have, and if you don't believe me, watch this. And then I need to go rest. I'm gonna take this mountain and go right here. I'm gonna bring it right about to there. And then I'm gonna come up like this. Now that's a little too warm. So I'm gonna add some cool color to my gray. That warm is gonna be coming forward too much. So now, I come in here, I get a little gouache, and now it's thick paint again. Now I have enough paint here for my my picture. So what did I just do? Some of you know, because you've been here, before I start a painting, I test my colors. So some of you are like, I thought we were painting a picture of that. Well, yes and no, because I've got to send you packing with some skills. It would be no good, either one of us, if I just do like the wine and paint things. Yes, it's cute, it's fun. We all get the same picture to put on our refrigerator. But I really have noticed people don't really feel like they're an artist. And then I see them at yard sales. And, but if I teach you some skill, if I teach you some wonderful little art terminology, you feel like the artist that you are. And, well, guess what? That's awesome. We're gonna put this over here, and then boom, this shape. Now this shape is called a lead-in. This, if I set a marble here and roll down this hill and go right on to his cute little mouth. Now in the photo, this is nice and warm. But guess what? That warmth can come too forward too fast. So I'm actually I'm adding some burnt sienna and lavender together, and it's pushed back. Okay. Now, a fun little thing I did earlier today in a critique with one of my mentees. I took a cool looking tan color. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this nice warm, it's just a warm white. They gave it a special name, but it really doesn't matter. I'm going to put this little warm white right here. I'm going to add a little more white to it. And I'm going to put a cute little shape, a little bit better on his nose. Now I'm not doing it to fix this little dude, you know, because he does have a serious overbite. I mean, seriously, is there a camel dentist in town? Because this guy has got such an overbite. It's, and he doesn't, and the sad thing is, he does not have his dentures in. I don't know what to tell him other than, I'm sorry. You know what's so cool is these animals can go a really long time without water. If you know the answer, put it in the chat. So what did I do? I just, oil painters will do this, so they'll scrape the canvas because you don't like the shape. What I did was I just neutralized my face. What does that mean? Well, if I bring it to neutral, it's not going forward or backwards, right? With a car. If I put it in neutral, it's out of gear. If I want to neutralize the shape, I need it kind of flat. And what I see now is this lip. It's at a different angle. It's actually more here. Look at that. He actually has a smile. A guy that has no dentures in his mouth is smiling. I don't know what a woman would say to that. I don't want to know. I don't want a personal experience. He's got that bottom lip with no dentures. No denture, camel. Poor guy. And seriously, this film has not been made to make camels feel less than themselves. I just have a feeling this one might get taken down off of the interwebs in the future because I was talking harshly about the camel's overbite. Alright, I'll stop. I'm finished. Here we are. Bam. I'm gonna go finish my froyo in the freezer. We got froyo just before we came here because It was hot today in the good old San Diego. My poor customers that came into the shop were just sweating up a storm. It was, it was so funny. We were having such a good, maybe not. Maybe I was having a really good conversation with them about them, me. No, I was not being that guy. Oh my gosh. You know the guy. So I'm going to take a look at the comments. If anybody has any questions, this is going to be a three-parter, this scene. So, because what I'm hoping is you will send me your camel pictures when we're done. I know I went on this trip, and I'll tell you what, it was an eye-opener. There was so many things I learned. Friendships were made. You know what? I'll tell you what. Wow, it was impressive. If you ever get a chance to go to the Middle East, yeah, come with us. We'll have fun. And wow, the refugees were. It was lovely. It was a lovely time. Now I could put a couple of ruffles, have ridges in here. I'm not even worried if right now if it looks like the photo, because guess what? Check it out. I'm gonna do 2 more stages before I actually do this picture. Now, I will do this stuff before I do a commission. Don't tell those people. Don't tell them, even though one might be here right now. I like to do some of these little studies before I actually get on it. And the reason being is I'm getting to know the subject, okay? So people say, he's just doing research today. He's just doing research. We'll come back. Guess what? We should all be doing research. We should all be like learning and practicing. Today I was at the library and I looked over and there was a book on airbrushing. And am I gonna start an airbrushing channel? No. But is there something that I can maybe bring over to watercolor from airbrushing? You better believe it there, Betsy Ross. Okay. So there we go. We got a camel. Now that's fun. And this goes in a sketchbook. And someone here probably wants to buy it for $50. Like, great. But I'll tell you what, this really comes to life when you do this. And you go, my first name starts with, how's it go? The Oscar Mayer. Remember Oscar Mayer commercials? Are you that old? How about Kit Kat? Give me a brick, give me a brick, break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. And then, you know what happens? I start adding pencil in here, pen, and I start playing here like this. And then I go like that. I go like this. And I write his name. Hi, my name's Bob. And I'm kidding. So, if you drew out this whole thing and you're saying, Gabriel, I was really hoping you were going to paint this whole thing today. This is what I want you to do. I want you to hold off on that picture. And now you're going, oh, I just painted on the whole thing. Guess what? Some of you that know me really well, I'm going to tell you, paint it again. Now, some things that are in this is not in the photo. Guess what? That's okay. And some things got a little darker. Guess what? That's okay. Some things got a little lighter. Guess what? That's horrible. Don't ever do that. I'm kidding. You gotta finger it too. You gotta put fingers into it. That's what I'm trying to say. Put your back into it. Put your fingers in your picture. Now, the last caveat. Now, yours might turn out different than mine. Guess what? That's perfect. I'm not teaching you to paint exactly like me. I don't feel like anybody should be a carbon copy of anyone. But yes, it does help to learn the ways of the Jedi. Okay. But the fun thing is, we're here to have fun. We're here to experience some stuff together. And if anything, I really am teaching you with a lot of love. Meaning, I'm not that teacher coming over here and going, hey, stupid, can't you get that right? Because I had that guy. And, well, hurt people. So, guess what? We can change that by being loving and kind and teach in a fun way by painting this buttocks. And painting camel toes. Okay? All right. Thank you so much. All 8 of you with the 3 thumbs up. I'm so glad I got your applause. Oh, I'm going to come into the comments here. So, yes, we are here every Wednesday, hopefully. Yeah, Watercolor Wednesday. I thought I had the time on here. I guess that's the one with watercolor paper. So, if you get a chance, rewatch the video. Some of you weren't here the whole time. That's fine. Some of you are only here when you can be here, and that's perfect. I like that concept. And some of you are here, and you're part of my mentoring group, and that's wonderful too. I just had another person today ask me if I can take them on, and I said, yeah. And so I'm happy to help you get where you need to go. Some of you are just now just getting here, and you might want to just like stick around and see where this takes you. If you're one of those people that like to look at things and see, I get excited when I go to like a store and they made a new handle for like, some kind of kitchen appliance or something. There's like this, I don't know. I'm easily amused, obviously. And so if you find yourself kind of wanting to improve things, you will find yourself wanting to not give up on developing your craft in watercolor. You'll find yourself wanting to, keep working on the piece or learning the subject before moving on. And so some of you might not like working from light to dark. Some of you might find out working from dark to light is better. Did you get that? So in opaque mediums, you work from dark to light. And this little part of this guy is really easy for me to do because it is backlit. My sun is over here shining this way from the east to the west. And I took this picture so I know where the sun was. And he's got those cute little lips. But you know what I have to do? check this out. Sometimes you have to turn your paper. He's got these cute little lips right here. And I use the brush to, if I kind of go like that, now I'm doing like surgery. And I come here and go bump. And then this comes up. So this is like a little baby. And really what this is, it's called trompe l'oeil. To fool one's eye. And by painting just the shapes, trompe l'oeil is really cool if you look it up and go to the library and get a book, because I did back in the day, you know. There's these places, they still exist, kids. They're called libraries. Now you don't have to. You can just get you get the book on your phone. And I'm not talking Kindle. I'm talking library. Well, you can use the Kindle to read it, but anyway, I digress. In order to fix this, now I've got to put the blacks. So, back to what I was saying. We put our blacks last. Now that could be a little more too black, so I'm actually going to add brown in there. And now this eye. Now I'm really just now doing like what some artists do, and they just build this thing. Now there's several water camp worlds, and you can watch the videos I have on here. All right, have a wonderful week. I'm gonna look at the comments now. Now I'm looking at the baby, so I'm pumping up this just a little bit. I'm gonna knock it down with some lavender. Yep. Nice. Look at this. Bam. And what I'm gonna do now, because I've got this dynamic going, I'm gonna put one color that works with the two, so that our friend up here, look at this color, glance, turquoise green. I'm gonna go right here. Bam, bam, over here. Like that, and I'm done. I repositioned your eye to come up here. And if I really want to do the last part, just put that nice bright red that's right there. Now we know exactly where the focal point is. See that? And that one a little bit bigger than I wanted. So I use my fingers. Finger time. Finger time. I'm using some gouache now. Why? Because this stinking paint on here is so nice and wet. Boom. Look at that. And it actually can go now with the lavender. Bam. And it looks faded and gray. It's not garish and in my face, but it positions our dude. Now, what did we learn earlier? There's light hitting here. Guess what? Bam. See this? Look at that. And then I'm going to get this nice little thing right there. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Oh, that is not black. Now, we took a trip all the way from the Middle East to Mexico. We're down in TJ with our camel. And we go and neutralize. See, I goof up too. Kuna Matata. means no worries. And go like this. Bam, bam. The seat. Okay. There we go. I'm gonna let the water drip down. Oh yeah. Look at that. And I could put a little bit of a leg coming in. Yep. Now that made a nice thing for my name. Sure. I really am not going to finish this into what you would call a masterpiece. I'm really just going to bring this to harmony. And I can actually maybe bring this mountain down a little bit so that my camel even looks taller. Look at that. So by now, trimming down the mountain, guess what? Those mountains are a couple miles down the road, y'all. Right? Have a wonderful week. I am so happy you stopped by. God bless you. I hope you all found something worthwhile for stopping by. And guess what? I'm going to see you next week. We will hop back into the scene. And not to bore you, but to give you a little bit more understanding on why we spend a little bit of time with the subject. And so, thank you, and take care. I will see some of you soon, and toodaloo. Oh, comments. You guys were talking over here. All right. Thank you, Jackie, for stopping by from Florida. We had Marie from Canada. And let's see, we got Jackie, thanks for the notan. Yeah, it turned more into a building of this, I would call this piece. This is a notan, yes, on cardboard. And this here is a little shape building value exercise. I wouldn't call this a value study. I would call this a value sketch. It's building some shapes with a little bit of color. And we had one other person, Robin. My Bologna has first name. All right, she sang the Oscar Mayer song. That's awesome. Thank you so much. That made my Malanta or whatever. Thank you. I appreciate you. I hope you too will do a fun little piece. For some of you that already drew this all out, you are amazing. Just put it off to the side and do this, do that, and guess what? We'll be back here next week. Bye.